Hi guys, this is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor and your leverage for change. Today I'm going to be discussing in terms of the 5 love languages Gary Chapman wrote about, right? And how 3 of them is going to be a challenge for specifically the dismissive avoidant attachment style and sometimes the fearful avoidant as well. And also who is strongest in this area, which attachment style is going to be strong in these areas. And the areas I will be discussing today is physical touch, quality time, and words of affirmation. Now, if you've watched enough videos about attachment styles, you already know that the areas, the attachment style that will be challenged with these 3 different areas, specifically physical touch and quality time, and to a lesser extent words of affirmation, but that is also quite high on the list, that they are going to be challenged with is the dismissive avoidant is just incapable, basically incapable of really giving these kind of loving you in these ways. So if you're someone and these are your love languages and you're with a dismissive avoidant attachment style, it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to get that from them. And that's why it's so very important, guys, that when you're in the dating process, you kind of field out these things. What is it that you need? What do you need to feel loved in a healthy relationship? What are your needs? Are you able to get that from your partner? Are you able to give what they need, their needs are, to your partner? And so that is one of the things that you really need to consider when you're dating, is what is your partner's love language? Are you able to give it to them? Because after a while, if the person is not getting that need fulfilled, they're going to feel resentful, and they're going to feel unhappy and sad and neglected and all of those words, and which is not good for healthy relationships, right? So therefore, know your challenge areas. If you're going to go in a relationship and you have not healed from these different attachment styles that's causing you to act in unhealthy ways in relationships, then you need to know the person that you're able to be with. Is this person able to give this to me? Am I able to give this to this person? Which, if you're not healed, is kind of difficult, because usually most other one, except for the secure attachment style, is going to be able to give all of these things to you. But it is really unfair to think that you can get what you need from the secure attachment style and then not able to give it back. So you yourself also have to become secure so you can give back what they need to them as well. All right, so my sinuses are acting up, guys, so a lot of clearing of throat and stuffiness going on here, so my apologies in advance. Cannot be helped. But anyway, I'll go on with the fact that the person who will have the most challenge in this area of physical touch is going to be the physical touch, quality time, and words of affirmation. Because if you notice, all of these are, especially physical touch and quality time, is going to need some kind of emotional investment, right? And to a lesser extent, words of affirmation. But for words of affirmation to really come through as authentic, it is also going to need that person giving those words of affirmation to have some kind of emotional, put something of their emotion into it for the person they're doing that to, giving that to feel as if it's really something that they can receive, and it's just not being said like just pure dry words and means nothing, right? So therefore, all these areas are the areas that someone with a dismissive, avoidant attachment style, and also to an extent, as I said, the fearful avoidant, will have challenges with, because they weren't physically held and cuddled and played with when they were children. They didn't have that. They don't have that kind of physical connection with their caregiver. Never had that with their caregivers. The quality time, nope. They didn't have that with their caregivers, so they don't know how to give it or how to receive it, right? They don't know how to give it, and they don't know how to receive it. Now, there are times they will be able to give you physical touch, especially when they're dating you and they know that that is what you need and is what expected. So they will be able to give that to you, which is why you have to take your time in the dating process, because these are things that is like when you go for an interview, you put out your best, the best part of you, right, to the interviewer. When you're dating, you do the same thing. Both parties do the same thing. They're not going to show their worst, the worst when they're trying to get someone to like them. So they can pretend for quite a while, and especially when in the beginning they're not seeing you often, so you don't see all of these things. So you have to take your time. Your dating, as I always say, is for gathering data. And you take your time and see this person in different scenarios and see if this is someone who can give you what you need to feel happy in a healthy relationship, and who you also can give and they are able to receive that from you. Because this attachment style, the avoidant attachment style, they can't receive it either. That's the thing, because they have never received it when they were babies, right? Or they were young children. It wasn't something that they are used to, like getting cuddled or hugged or kissed and just, loved on. They never got that. So they can't receive it and they can't give it. The next thing with words of affirmation, nobody ever told them that they were, oh, you did a great job. No, they never got that. So they're going to find it difficult to give that to you as well. So these are the three areas that someone with the avoidant attachment styles, they're going to be challenged with in any relationship. And you need to watch out for these things, guys, especially if these are your love languages. Any of these, the physical touch, quality time, or words of affirmation are your love languages, and you need to get that from your partner to feel loved. If you see that this person is not able to give that to you, then it's not a good idea to stick around in that. When you're dating, you need to find someone who can give that to you and who can also receive from you what their love language might be, right? So the anxious preoccupied, they love this. Physical touch is their, more than likely also, this is going to be their love language. The physical touch is going to be more than likely the love language for the anxious preoccupied, because they like that emotional connection and that closeness and proximity of both of you hugging and cuddling and holding hands and that kind of thing is going to be something that the anxious preoccupied really just revels in. They love that, right? And the same thing with quality time, when you spend time with them and just be with them, listening to them, hearing them, understanding them, just spending quality time with them, just learning about them. That's what the anxious preoccupied attachment style thrives on. They live for. All right, the same thing with words of affirmation. They love that. They love words of affirmation, telling them how good they're doing. But actually, the words of affirmation also works very well with the dismissive avoidant, because, and also the fearful avoidant to an extent, because as you all know, the fearful has both sides. So it depends on who that person is with, the way they respond in relationships. So I'll just really focus on the anxious and the dismissive, and you can get a gist of how the fearful will kind of be fluctuating somewhere in between there, because it's more, their response to things are usually very, very dependent on who they're with. So as I was saying before, for the dismissive avoidant, they will love words of affirmation. And the reason why they will like that is because they never received it, one, right? They always wanted it. And so for someone to actually recognize that they're doing something for them, it would really be something that really makes them feel good. And because their love language, the way they perceive love language is that giving you gifts and giving you, doing things for you is going to be the way they show their love. But that might not necessarily be your love language. And so that is why it's always a mess, because they're giving you, doing things for you, they're giving you gifts when you want to be held and you want to spend time with them, just sitting down, cuddling, watching TV, doing things together, learning a new hobby, whatever it might be. So that's why you see that there's always a kind of a bucking of heads when it comes to, when one person is feeling really unloved because this person is giving and is thinking that they're loving them by giving them gifts and giving them doing things for them around the house, fixing this and fixing the roof and fixing the floor and fixing the lawn and mowing the lawn, and they appreciate it. The person like the anxious preoccupied will appreciate it, but they don't feel loved when that is done. You have to give the person what makes them feel loved. And what I notice in most individuals I've worked with, or even just experienced friends and family members, is that the people who are in the dismissive category, the avoidant category, will more give gifts, because it does not require an emotional connection. They can buy you something they think you like. It really doesn't require emotion involved. And the same thing with doing things for you. It's just doing things for you. It doesn't require a connection like physical touch or quality time. All right, guys, but they do enjoy and they do love it. I believe they may benefit more. The dismissive avoidant will be the attachment style that benefits more from words of affirmation. But guys, it cannot be overdone so that it seems like it's fake. It has to be thank you so much, I really appreciate what you did, and don't go overboard like, oh, you did so great, you're the best, blah 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 blah. They'll think that, they'll smell that as inauthentic, and they get turned off. So again, there is a kind of a level that you cannot go beyond, right? But their thing is, if you're going to give them something, I think they would be someone who would appreciate perhaps gifts, but they're not going to appreciate physical touch or quality time, because they like to be by themselves. The next thing, guys, as I mentioned earlier, in the beginning, you can mistake this attachment style, thinking that maybe they are, they can give physical, they like physical touch, because at the beginning they will love physical touch, right? They will do that. And so you have to wait, you have to take your time. And also, after you've spent some time together, you'll notice that they don't want to really connect with you in a physical way so much anymore. Even sitting to watch TV together, sometimes they want to be over there in their little space and you are on another sofa or something like that. They like to be alone, separate. They don't like emotional intensity, so they will actually remove themselves. If there's a sofa that can hold both of you, they'll find one that can sit in one that can only hold one person, so like a recliner or something, or a chair, so that you don't have that physical touch and emotional connection, later on in the relationships. Not only that, sometimes too, if they do it, say even in public displays of affection, you're walking somewhere and you're walking your partner, you want to hold their hands, especially for the anxious preoccupied. This person might hold your hand, but almost say to you, or make you feel that they're doing it just because you want them to. And sometimes they will actually say to you, so you feel good now, or you're okay now? Is that okay now? Or something like, it's almost like they're doing you a favor. They're not doing it because they want to do it, or that's their ingrained way of behaving, but behaving from out of that kind of emotional wanting to connect with you. It's not that. They're doing it almost like a favor to you, to appease you. And they'll actually say to you too, so you feel you feel better now, something like that. They will actually really, and they'll just do it for a time, and it's also not authentic. When you're holding somebody's hand and they really want to hold your hand, it's a different feeling than when somebody's just doing it just to do it out of because you asked them to. So they'll do it, but it's almost as if they're appeasing you, just to shut you up maybe, or to make you stop asking, or or to make you feel better, even though that does not make you feel better, but they don't realize that, or they don't care. Whatever it is, I'm not even sure. But this is how these different attachment styles will behave when it comes to these three love languages that Gary Chapman spoke of in his book, The 5 Love Languages. Okay, guys, I hope you learned something, and I hope that if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section below, and I'll try to address as many as I can. This is, by the way, also check out my membership channel again in the join button below. And also, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, guys, hit that notification bell so that as soon as I upload something new, that you will be notified. This is Christine, your Relationship and Mindset Mastery Doctor, and your Leverage for Change. Take care, and until next time, bye-bye.